busy.
Bit weird though, isn't it? He's not that busy. He's posting online an awful lot. Why is he not welcomed Robert Jenrick joining?
I would suggest you've got an overactive research team who really should have better things to do.
Well,
In this video, we watched the BBC try and fail to ambush Reform UK. Newsnight host Matt Chorley thought he had Richard Tice cornered. He tried to use gotcha questions about tweets, old quotes and infighting to embarrass the Reform deputy leader. But Tice wasn't having any of it. Now let's watch this takedown together and I'll share my thoughts at the end.
Who knows about these things behind the scenes. Early this evening, I spoke to the Reform UK's deputy leader, Richard Tice. I began by asking him, did Robert Jenrick jump or was he pushed?
In terms of the journey, he was pretty much there, as I understand. It's obviously a very difficult thing when you've been in a party, of any party, since the age of 16 for a number of decades. So it's a big decision, but it's welcome. He's done the right thing. It's only Reform that can take on and beat Labour at the next general election.
It's another Conservative in Reform UK ranks. Has everyone in the party welcomed his arrival?
Yes, very much so. People who believe in our principles and values from any party or no party, people understand that he has a strong support base and that he is considered strong on issues that we fundamentally believe in, around stopping the boats, about controlling immigration, about scrapping net stupid zero, about safer streets, law and order, and about how to get the public finances under control so that we can make people better off.
You say everyone's welcomed it. Is Zia Yusuf, the head of policy for Reform UK, welcomed it? He's been posting online an awful lot in the last 24 hours. He's posted nothing about Robert Jenrick that I could see. He did post when Nadeem Zahawi joined earlier this week. They had a high-profile spat in the past. He wasn't at the big unveiling of Robert Jenrick. Is there some tension there?
Oh, look, we're a team. We're united under Nigel's leadership. And look, we're all busy.
Bit weird though, isn't it? He's not that busy. He's posting online an awful lot. Why is he not welcomed Robert Jenrick joining?
I would suggest you've got an overactive research team who really should have better things to do.
Well, I looked at it actually myself, Richard.
Look, at the end of the day, we're focused on policies, on how to continue to lead in the polls and our campaign strategy for the May elections, where we're allowed to have them, because, of course, Labour are frit, they're running scared, they're cancelling elections up and down the country. Over 4 million people, it looks like, are going to be denied. Oh, and by the way, including some Conservative councils as well, who are also running scared of Reform.
You couldn't be more delighted about welcoming in someone who your own leader said was a fraud, said don't believe a word he says. You said Robert Jenrick doesn't get it. Robert Jenrick said, I want to put Reform out of business. I want to send Nigel Farage back to retirement.
Look, the reality is we believe in the same principles and values. Of course, it's a competitive world in the world of policy. Actually, competition is a good thing. We believe in competition. It makes everybody perform better. And yes, sometimes there's a bit of rough and tumble between parties. Look, that's the nature of it. But fundamentally, we believe in the same principles and values. We debate policy. We come to what we think are the right decisions. We put those to the people. And guess what? We're leading in some 200 national polls by give or take 9 or 10%. We must be doing something right.
What you've done in the last few months is invite in some of the people most responsible for the Conservative governments since 2019. Started with Boris Johnson and onwards. Robert Jenrick was in the Treasury under Theresa May. He was at Housing under Boris Johnson. He was at Health under Liz Truss. He was Immigration on Rishi Sunak. You've got Nadeem Zahawi, who was at Treasury, Education, COVID in Business. Nadine Dorries was at Culture. David Jones was at Wales. Andrea Jenkins was in the Whip's office in Education.
And do you know what that does?
Jake Berry was at Community and Local Government. Almost every single department that you think has failed since 2019, you've brought the people responsible into Reform UK.
Robert Jenrick is the only cabinet minister who resigned on a matter of principle from the Conservative government. That makes him uniquely qualified to explain where things went so badly wrong on both legal and illegal immigration, which is to the fury of tens of millions of British people. And sure, what the list you've just read out there shows the whole point about experience. And yes, people make mistakes and they learn from that, they put their hands up, they say, I got this right, I got this wrong, we've learned from what we've got wrong, and we won't do it again.
But what is it about Robert Jenrick? He saw huge, while he was immigration minister. Robert Jenrick, when he was immigration minister, saw huge rises in people coming in small boats.
And he resigned as immigration minister. So the whole point.
Because he threw up his hands in the air and said, I can't do anything about it. So why do you think, oh, that's just the man for the job? He oversaw a mess and then he walked away from it. Why do you think that that's the sort of man that you want in your team?
Doesn't that show integrity and principle that actually he left?
Well, it shows that he can't do anything about a massive problem.
He realised that his bosses and his colleagues in cabinet were not prepared to do what needed to be done, which is what the British people voted for. I think that shows actually strength and principle. And look, at the end of the day, we've got the situation as we have. We've got a growing team. We've got, I think we're almost the largest, or are the largest party in terms of members, and we are by far and away the largest party in the polls. That shows people want us to lead the next government, but of course they need a strong team, and Robert is a very welcome asset to that strong team.
More to come? Has your phone been ringing off the hook in the last 24 hours?
I'm not going to give a running commentary on my phone calls, but my phone's always busy.
We're told to expect a major Labour figure next week. Is that right?
Well, you'll have to be patient, wait and see. But yes, there will be a significant event early next week. Is
it a Labour MP, though? Because that's the big prize for you, isn't it? To show that Reform UK isn't just a retirement home.
Patience is a virtue. You can look forward to it all weekend. Patience is a virtue.
But if it's not an MP, doesn't that just reinforce the criticism of your opponents?
I'm not going to give you any more clues, cunning tips, apart from that. Just look forward to next week.
Richard Tice, Deputy Leader of Reform UK. Thanks for joining us on Newsnight tonight.
Thank you.
So, absolute total control from Richard Tice. You know, it really exposes the state of our media class. Did you notice what the BBC host was obsessed with? He wanted to talk about tweets. He wanted to talk about who liked what post on X and whether Zia Yusuf is angry. It is pathetic gossip. Meanwhile, Richard Tice is talking about the actual issues: immigration, the economy, and the fact that the government is collapsing. And he was right to call out that overactive research team. The BBC thinks they are playing 4D chess, but Tice just swats them away like a fly. But I want to focus on one other thing from the end of that clip. Did you hear the Labour insider quote? They compared Keir Starmer's government to the Titanic. They said ministers are sailing towards the iceberg. That is a devastating admission from inside the Labour Party. While the BBC tries to attack reform, the actual government is sinking after just a few months. That is why Tice was so confident about a Labour defection next week. The rats are looking for a life raft and reform is the only ship staying afloat. Let me know in the comments. Do you think the BBC is biased, or are they just incompetent? And who do you think is jumping ship from Labour next week? If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. I'll see you in the next video.